Hey there, viewers. Welcome back to the Self-Made Auto Channel. Got the 2016 Chevrolet. It's the Trax. It's one that's got the right front wheel ready to skip town on us. It's one that was at the other shop for a really long time and evidently has done numerous wheel bearings and, trying to resolve the issue for this guy before the customer finally just, pulled the car out because he needs his car. We looked at it briefly, we got all the issues there with the brake hoses and all that stuff that needs to be straightened up. But first and foremost, we're going to try to fix this right front wheel so we can drive the car to see if there's any ABS sensor problems or anything going on with the left front. But if you recall, that right is so bad that we have to fix that first. So I got our parts here from GM. I think we got to take and pull that wheel off because we're going to end up needing the backing plate because I got us a whole new knuckle. Didn't order us that, but we'll take it apart, see what things look like. I'll show you the new parts I have, and we'll get after it. Here's what I got from GM. We got this, the new knuckle. We got the hub. I got us a bearing and a snap ring, new ABS sensor. I got both of the bolts for the lower ball joints. If you remember right, this thing was pretty cobbed together there. Both these nuts for those bolts, and then one new axle nut. So we got everything here, I think, nothing that we don't. The car still has, obviously a massive oil leak and some other issues. Let's get this resolved and see what else we have to do to fix this thing. Wow, those are tight. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh, well, there's your problem, lady. Putting these things back on always helps. Holy smokes, dude. That's not cool. I wonder if the dang wheel was falling off. Doesn't look like the threads are frigged up. There are, I hate to even think this, but I've seen this before, and it's typically with like a DIY job, not throwing shade. I ain't got no static with DIYers, but I've seen this before where somebody will say old school, did their own wheel bearing, and back in the days with double tapered bearings, how tight were these things? That's right, finger tight, or just a tiny bit of preload just to take the play out of those bearings. I've seen some people that are still of that thinking in the new school, we'll call it. And you end up with something like this. So bearing shop, still not going to trust it because apparently this thing has had, I could be wrong here in saying this, but it's been back to the shop 11 times and it's had supposedly 11 wheel bearings put in it. True or not, I don't know, but in either case, we're not taking the chance. We're going to grab us an 18, we're going to peel the caliper bracket, we'll hang that to the side. We'll steal our dust shield, we'll get our new piece put together, and then we'll just come swap out the knuckle. Now, we'll need an alignment when we're done, but let's get after it. "37 foot-pounds plus 60 degrees is what the axle nut is supposed to be torqued at. I'll have to check out this bracket here. She's had some grindage on it, but not too terrible. That's a big deal, dude. Alright, let's grab like a 10 mil, zippy zap that off. Guess we don't necessarily need to do it right now. My concern was the backing plate was, mounted behind the hub face, but I'm sure this has probably got that knuckle wallered out pretty good. It's been changed before. Still in pretty good shape for New York. Usually those things are MIA. Splitting that outer tie rod end boot. Tie rod's still tight, but speed sensor is not new. All right, got what we need. So, kind of bizarre, these little marks here are your classic marks from the waffle face claw hammer, probably used to press the hub face in, would be my assumption. Looking at it, I've seen those marks before, and we don't use waffle face hammers in the automotive industry, but not sure what that mark's from. So I imagine this thing was probably just bashed together, hard to say. Oh yeah. Well, that's fun. It's definitely new. It's not super rusty or newer. Bearing should full of rust. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe we'll push it out just for grins and giggles here. It's the bolt for the speed sensor here I took out. Seeing if that, oh look at that. It's wiggly. Oh good. It doesn't appear to be damaged. Sometimes when wheel bearings get this bad, the axle will actually hit it and ruin the speed sensor. So it looks like we're probably good in that department. Might be able to save this guy a few bucks on stuff. You know what? Let's just push the bearing out of this knuckle. We have to take the lower bolt out here anyways. I'm gonna get that off, peel these two bolts off, get the knuckle. Usually I do these on the car with the hub tamer or the hub grappler. Let's just get it off and just go take it to the press and see what it looks like. Sometimes when guys do these bearings, they'll torch them out or you know, cut them with a cut-off wheel, and it can really mess up the knuckle, and that's what we want to look at. Because if we can reuse it, heck, why not? You know. Here's your lower ball joint bolt. It is it's a grade nothing, no head stamping whatsoever. We got the hacksawed piece of the EMT conduit tubing. And then a couple more washers to take up some space. And a nut. Well, kind of. There we go. Look at this bad boy. Oh no, it must be like a grade 2 because I had to tap on it to get it out. And just that light tapping on it, it's got this thing all waffled up. Wow, awesome. Hey, when close enough is good enough, right? Here's our snap ring. Pretty good shape still. I'm gonna go push this bearing out, see what things look like in there. I had dropping stuff all day yesterday too. Boy, it sure doesn't look super new, does it? That's a pretty fair amount of rust on there. You know, of course the seal on this side here is all messed up. I don't know, folks. I don't know what you think. Hard to say. Have to send it to the lab. Hit her up with the old hole polisher. And everything looks normal. I don't see any marks. The bearing seems like it fits. You know, stuck it in there. Well, set it in there rather. Just to make sure it doesn't go clunk. Drop right in. I don't see any reason to not reuse it. Yeah, I got it because, like I say, I thought that bearing was bad enough that it was gonna, you know, would have chewed through the knuckle. But I think we're gonna be okay. So we got the bearing there. Prop her up, probably can't. Stick that there, stick something like that. Make sure you have the magnet facing the right way. That'll get you. Oh, look at that. See what it sounds like going together. No reason we can't push it, right? None that I can think of. Alright, there's that side. Sounded good. We're just basing it off the sound. Magnets facing the right direction, room for the snap ring. We'll back it up on this side. I like it so. We'll push our bearing apart. Let me find what we do with the hub there. Right here. Shiny and new. That and something like that. Let's find us a little flat disc here. Get one of our kit. Yeehaw. Push, push, push. I didn't tighten her down enough with his little finger. One little extra pump for good luck. There it is. It's good to go. Leave your comment about how crooked that is. Alright? Anytime we spin a wheel bearing, we always get that comment. That thing's so crooked. Don't forget this little guy. This is the new snap ring. We'll stick that baby in. You're gonna have to line her up with the speed sensor hole here. If you don't worry. You won't be able to get the speed sensor in. You gotta line it up the notch with the opening. Hi, that's me to that little hole there. So there's that. That's it. And it is an FAG bearing. In case you're looking for an aftermarket, all the way from Korea. You don't see too many FAG bearings. I usually, anytime I've ever done one of those, it's if somebody convinces me to work on some European car. That's when I see them. Running low. We'll give this a little anti-seizure paste. Keep her from getting stuck on there for the next guy. That's what I would do. All right. Oh, slips right in. Almost. Oh, there she goes. I felt that. Let's get the bolt for that ball joint. There's that. Slip that bolt right on through. There's that. Slide that baby up. Now these are splined bolts. So if you're ever taking these out, make sure you take the nut off and then, you know, knock the bolt out so they are splined. Just FYI, if you try turning the bolt, you'll notice it doesn't go anywhere unless you have a big enough impact. You can strip all the splines off it.
You're stripping out here?
Still stripping it out. Beat them things in like a 16 penny nail. We will give them a Ugga Dugga setting number 1 on the Ugga Dugga gun. What's up, Miss O? Huh?
What are you doing out here?
Well, rebuilding the car, basically. Rebuilding it all. I think that's what people say. Project build. What's up?
Not much.
This thing was a right mess. This is that's the wheel speed sensor bolt. We don't want that one. It was a mess, Miss O.
Oh, it's different?
That bolt is different, yes. See the difference?
Oh.
Huh? I knew you weren't picking up on that. Now you trust me? I know you were going to look at it. That's why. I know you. You're going to question it and touch it and say, I don't understand. That's right. That's what I love about you.
It sounds like you're really saying you love it.
I do. All right. Let me get some specs here, folks, on everything that needs specs. Get some 15, whatnot, and what have you, and let's get after this. All right. Snuggie these up. Shouldn't have to hold the other side. Oops, there's one. Whoops, he says. There's 2. Double check. There we are. 22 pound-feet of torque, then 45 degrees. After first tightening to 27 pound-feet of torque and then loosening 120 degrees. So basically they have you snug it up, loosen it up, tighten it to 22 pound-feet of torque, which is, I don't know if that'll overcome the lock nut or not. 22 is not much. Oh, it does. Okay, so it still turns. So there's 22 or 23.6. We will have to set our torque angle gauge here. Let her read 0. And then we're going to turn it down to 45 degrees. Make sure we hold that little guy. Get her in one fell swoop there. Ends up being 47.9 pound-feet of torque. I put the speed sensor in, put a little never sneeze in that hole. Already torqued to spec the tie rod end. Although, like I say, the boot is ripped on that. So it won't be long for the world. But before we get too gung-ho on just heaving parts, you know, because we have that oil leak and stuff, we gotta be able to test drive this car. And that's our goal at this moment. Take it for a shakedown. And then determine what we gotta do from there. Get some parts ordered. That's how you lose the 10 mil right there, folks. Click, click, boom. Little orange gel on these bad boys. Power red releases like blue, they claim. We don't know if any of that's true. There we go. Got them slathered up. All slathered up. Untwist your piggy tail. Slide our bracket back on. These babies are 118. 118, that says, according to the book. We use the big dog on these. There, that looks like that'll work for us. Put that on like so. Get her up there. 118. There's that, so not real snug, but snug enough. Well, snug enough. There we go. We're almost done. Almost, but not quite. We need to get this little guy. Let me go grab the specs on that again. I think it was 37 and something else. We'll see. Maybe this is where the complications came in. You can't use your standard axle nut socket on here, 36 mil. Fortunately for us, we've got a 36 mil chrome, but the 36 mil impact socket will not fit. Use our rotor holding tool. Crank this bad boy down to 37. Dude, I forgot my freaking torque spec already. This guy, I know it's 37. That's a fact. Oh, there's 37. Let me go get my angle torque. Ends up being 221.5 pound-feet of torque after 60 degrees. A little more than finger tight. Yeah, I know the rotor's chewed up. Calm down. We're just going for a drive, okay? Everybody just calm down. We'll come to this side to give it the dimple with our dimple driver. There we are. That nut ain't coming off. So before we go on the shakedown, let's make sure it has a little bit of oil in it. Because we know it's got a little pee-pee problem. She's full. Right on the money. Maybe it just started leaking. They make this super convenient. I love my Chevrolets. Said no one ever, unless it's crazy. Good news is we have brakes again. Because they're optional. We got the old Harbor Freight T10 Icon. Now this baby booting up. We'll let it do a scan here. We'll clear the codes out of the ABS and see what's working and what's not. Codes are cleared. We'll select all 4 of our wheel speed signals here. We'll hit graph. We have 4 individual graphs. I'll put on my seatbelt and we'll go for a shakedown. Go for a shakedown. Change oil, it says. Well, if we leave it running long enough, it'll change itself, right? Let's go see. It looks like the left front wheel currently is not functioning. I can tell just by backing up. I don't know if if you guys can see it, I'll keep backing up so we don't die. I don't know if you guys saw what I saw, but the left front wheel has no signal, which, whoa, hang on, Pop-Pop's got you. Way to make it weird. We knew that that was a potential problem. We had a code for left front wheel, low amplitude. It should have said left front wheel, no amplitude. Lights are back on. And obviously no left front speed signal. Also, the steering wheel is crooked to the right. So if they did put tie rods or something on it, who knows. The control arms, it's probably never had a wheel alignment done because it's quite crooked. So we'll have to straighten that out. But the guy's main concern was his, the lights being on. Apparently, it went into the shop initially with just a TPMS light, and then that's when this whole mess started, the way I'm understanding it. Could be wrong on that. Either way, I don't hear any other wheel bearings like noisy or anything. So let's go back and have a look at that left front wheel. See what we have to do there to fix that. Maybe they put a bearing in that side too and it's in backwards or something. They weren't bashful about tightening up wheels, I'll tell you that. I don't know if this side had a bearing put in it or not. We do know, yes, this side has had a bearing put in it. You can tell because everything there is chowdered up and the hub looks shiny and new. This side we do need to put in the old the lower ball joint bolt, because we know that's messed up. That one was snuggy. That's an OEM. It's been on and off multiple times. It's had a dimple there, a dimple there, and a dimple there. And a dimple there. So she's been dimpled 4 times. New CV axle here. Oh boy. Let's see if by pushing it in, if I can see back there now. Let me get my flashlight. Oh boy. Not good, folks, not good. It appears what's holding the bearing in on this side is what they call the wheel speed sensor. Holy smokes, dude. I don't know if this shop is having a freaking bad day or what. This is not cool. So the snap ring is not installed. It is, it's back there, but it's not, what do you call it? In the groove, we'll say. So the snap ring's just kind of wedged back there. The speed sensor's tweaked out, and the magnet on the back of the bearing isn't rotating. I tell you what, before we even pull this stuff apart, we're gonna have to get some goods. Just look at the end of this axle. I don't know, man. They got the threads kind of gnarred up on that. Well, we're gonna have to get another bearing. I can see where this has been beat on with the waffle face claw hammer. Wow, this is just this just gets worse. I'm trying to be nice, give people the benefit of the doubt. This is complete freaking hackery, let's be honest. If we're off camera, we'd use a lot more swear words. I'm gonna get another bearing from GM, get a snap ring. I'm gonna order this knuckle just in case. That right side knuckle, we're gonna send it back. Hub face, bearing. We've already got a speed sensor. Let me get some parts ordered now that we see what's going on. And we'll let the saga continue. In the meantime, I'm gonna see about getting the oil filter housing gasket, what we need there, get the back brakes straightened out. Wow, real classy. Real classy. Basically all I can do for today, I'm gonna put that axle nut back on it. I did order an axle too, just in case. The outside, probably 3 or 4 threads on that thing are pretty gnarred up. Probably from dimpling that over and having it on and off, half a dozen times. Has that chowdered up. Will it affect it? Yeah, I don't know. The axle shafts were kind of expensive, even aftermarket, like through Napa, it was cheaper to buy OEM by about 30 bucks. So I do have an OEM everything coming for it. We're gonna keep that speed sensor here. I'm gonna send the knuckle back when they bring the delivery for this tomorrow. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's just a shame. He's into it, you know, this deep. Hopefully he can get his money back. I'm saving all his own parts, and of course, you know, he's got some video to go on, but you know, who knows? That's all speculation. I mean, we see what we see, and that's it. We move on with our life. So we're gonna draw this out into maybe like a 37-part series. So hopefully you guys like Chevy Trax's videos, but I don't know what else to do. I'm not gonna jam it all in one video. It'll be fun. It's like a little drama, murder mystery, whodunit type thing, but we know who done it. We'll see you guys on the next one.